In a fire with my mom. 50 bands in a day. One ain't more, but I'm straight.
But going back to what I was saying, Saturday, working all day during the day, afternoon had a little Friendsgiving. But then when I came home after the Friendsgiving, my like throat started hurting, and I thought it was just from the fact that I was talking and just laughing a lot that night. Next day I wake up, I like have like a cold, my fucking throat was like killing me. Um like I felt very weak. I had like a extreme headache, so like I had a cold like these past 2 days, Sunday and Monday. And then yesterday, I finally started feeling like myself again. I'm about like 80% better. I still like have like cough. Still have a lot of fucking what is it called? Why am I blanking right now? Congestion. I'm still like very much congested. Um, but I'm feeling a lot better yesterday and today than I was just 2 days ago. But like I'm over here drinking like water, orange juice, Gatorade, like drinking all kinds of shit right now, just so that way. Because me, when I get sick, I feel like I'm fucking dying every time. Like, there's nothing in the world I hate more than being sick. Like, and some people probably, like, people with regular jobs and regular, like, lives probably enjoy the sick time because then they get a little break from their job or dealing with people they don't like. I hate being sick. I always have. I've always hated being sick because when I was a kid, if you were sick, then if I was sick, then I not only missed school, which by like high school and college is very fucking crucial, like missing days in school. But then I couldn't play basketball. I couldn't practice basketball. Like I just hated it. I hated that feeling of being bedridden, and I still am that way to this day. Like I hate just not like I just hate being forced to do nothing. Like that's what I hate the most, more than anything. So like I hate just being sick, and it never fails around this time in November or December for me to catch like some kind of cold or flu that like keeps me sick for like a good like 5 days, like guaranteed. You know what I mean? So like probably either tomorrow or the next day I'll be 100% better. But like these like Sunday and Monday, I felt I hated just sitting in my bed, sitting out in the living room, uh, and all I could do was just pretty much like nothing. Like I just had to keep drinking fluids, like taking medicine, and watching TV. I enjoy watching TV. Don't get me or watching YouTube, I should say, because I don't really watch TV like I used to. Like I will say this is the most I've watched TV like in a long time because I just recently rewatched Gotham, which for the long time I was saying was like my favorite TV show of all time. Looking back at it, it wasn't as good as I remember it. Like it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was gonna be rewatching it, but like it literally peaked season one. And then like every other season was kind of shaky, especially season five, man. Season five looked like it was gonna have some good potential, but then after like the first two episodes of season five, it just kind of didn't know what to do. And I can understand why because I think instead of the original amount of episodes that the previous four seasons got, which was like 22, 23 episodes, season five was like cut in half and ended after like 13. And the last episode was like forced to be a jump in time to advance the story to Batman being born, pretty much. So, and if you guys haven't watched Gotham, Gotham is its own like thing where it takes place before the events of Bruce Wayne becoming Batman, and Jim Gordon is a rookie officer trying to fix the corrupted police system in Gotham while also dealing with the corruption of Gotham in general with the mob bosses, Falcone and Maroni, not Maroney. Dealing with supervillains such as Mr. Freeze, or even like spinning like typical origin stories of some of Batman's most famous rogue galleries, such as the Riddler or Penguin. you know. But there was a lot of good things I really enjoyed about that show. Looking back at it, first of all, I love the interpretation of the Penguin in that show. Like the actor who played him was really fucking good, and I love what they did with most of the characters on the show. To be honest, both acting wise and like the origin wise, like Jim was definitely a very complicated character. They made Harvey Bullock, who I feel like is a nobody in the Batman comics, like a very realistic interpretation of a corrupted old cop who kind of become like learns his way through seeing Jim's journey. You know what I mean? I love the first season, which again was focused heavily on the mobs, the two big mob crime families in Gotham, being the Falcones and the Maronis. You know, and then how Penguin kind of was playing both sides, um, and then ended up becoming the king of Gotham by the end of the season one. So, and then I love the like everybody who was cast in their roles played their roles perfectly, especially like the Bruce Wayne and the Selena Kyle actors. Um, their chemistry was so fucking good and built up throughout the entire show, and it just makes sense. Like it just Batman and Catwoman always have like a weird on again, off again relationship, partnership, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like with them being kids, it perfectly plays out by the end of of the series. You know what I mean? So it's a good show. I won't say it's great. I used to say it's great, but it's a good show. They made a lot of they did a lot of unique things with that show that I feel like kind of serves as almost inspiration for some of the Batman projects that came out afterwards. The two Jokers thing that they did in season 4, I completely felt like Joker 2 took inspiration from that, especially with that twist ending. Like that was that when I first saw Joker 2, and that movie was bad, by the way. I don't know if y'all seen that. Joker 2 was fucking awful. Like they really quadrupled the size of the original film's budget and made an even worse movie. There was only one scene in that entire sequel that was what's going on, Nick? That was really good. And that was a scene in the core where Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is having a conversation with the poor best friend that he had in the first film. That was the only scene that was good in that movie. Sorry about that, Nick. Um, you know, but the whole like ending where the real Joker killed off the fake Joker. When I saw that for the first time going in spoiler free, I completely felt like they took that from Gotham. Because Gotham did this thing where because of copyright issues, they couldn't physically say the Joker's name or use his title in the show. But what they did, they created two versions of Joker, Jeremiah and Jerome, where Jerome was the first interpretation of the Joker. Um, he was kind of comedic, kind of goofy, very insane. He even killed his own mother. They gave him unique origin story. But then before he died, he infected his twin brother Jeremiah with laughing laughing gas made by the Scarecrow in the show, which I think that completely made sense when you think about it. And Jeremiah became Joker 2.0 pretty much, but he was a more sane, kind of calm version, more intelligent version, um, well thought out version of the Joker. That kind of reminds me almost of the '89 version of Joker from Michael Keaton's Batman. Who was that? Jack Nicholson. It kind of reminded me of him, but he was, and then eventually he turns into the Joker, the typical Joker, where he falls in the vat of chemicals and kind of goes crazy, and gets the white skin. He doesn't get full green hair, which by the end of the series of Gotham, they couldn't use uh Joker's name still, and they had to change the final version of Jeremiah to where he resembles Joker, but not completely. So, like, he didn't have a full set of green hair. He had to wear yellow gloves, and he still just couldn't be called Joker. So, but anyway, the two Joker thing that Gotham did, I feel like, like in Joker 2, Todd Phillips completely ripped um from Gotham. And when the Bruce Wayne actor, I'm so sorry, y'all. When the Bruce Wayne actor spoke out about how Gotham did it first, I 100% agreed. Like like that ending for Joker 2 was bullshit, and that movie was bullshit as is. But like they they ruined. I don't want to say they ruined the first movie with the second one, but they just ruined Arthur Fleck's character from the first one. Like the first movie is still rewatchable and still holds up. Don't get me wrong, but there should have never been a sequel to Joker 2. Everything about that movie, about the first one, was concluded in that first movie. And when the second one got announced, it was so obvious it was because of a cash grab. It was like so fucking obvious. It was so obvious Joker 2 was a cash grab. But when the first trailer came out, like it looked like it still was going to be a decent story, and like they're introducing Harley Quinn. Like, why the fuck? Why would it not be interesting? But then I didn't have any problems with it, like criticizing and like kind of addressing the controversy around the first one. Don't get me wrong, I didn't have no issues with that. I think it's kind of a realistic take for Todd Phillips to have on the first movie's success and everything. But man, just like I the musical like aspects of that movie just did not land. There were so many of them. Like if you took out the musical aspects of that movie, I think that movie would honestly be like only an hour and a half long. And it was almost a 3-hour movie, if I'm not mistaken. So they were just so unnecessary. They weren't like good. I don't know. See, people are mad that they didn't market it as a musical, even though it was like reported from the very start it was going to be a musical. But man, there was a lot about aside from the musical aspects, there was a lot about that movie that was just not good. And like the fact that they did scenes where there was nudity that was completely uncalled for. Joker and Harley Quinn having sex. Did not need to see that. And they hinted at Joker getting raped. Like they were doing like it felt like Todd Phillips was like purposefully trying to piss off the people who went to see this movie. Like, and I don't understand what that kind of approach is for a fucking movie. Yeah, the first movie made people uncomfortable, but it was uncomfortable because of how realistic it was. Now, like, yeah, this shit in this movie can be a reality, but I mean, like, nobody asked to see Lady Gaga get fucked by Joaquin Phoenix. Nobody asked to see that. Nobody wanted like subliminal messaging of the Joker getting raped. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Just everything about Joker 2, aside from the one court scene that I mentioned earlier, where you know Arthur was having a conversation with his short friend that he spared in the first movie. That scene was beautiful. That scene, honestly, like I felt that scene. I felt the emotion and the words they were exchanging during that scene. And I was like, I looked at my dad and said, that was a really good, that was a really good moment. And that was literally the peak moment of the movie. And it doesn't happen until the third act or right before the third act really kicks off. And everything that came out afterwards about the movie's failure, how Todd Phillips didn't even show up to the premiere, how he didn't want no involvement with Warner Brothers Studios, DC Studios, James Gunn in any sort of way. It makes all fucking sense. They gave him complete, whoever, Warner Brothers gave him complete fucking freedom, and that was the downfall of that movie. They gave him 100% freedom to do whatever he wanted with that budget, and he chose to make not only one of the worst films of all time, I think, not only one of the worst comic book movies of all time, I think, but one of the worst sequels of all time, and really ruined the status for a lot of people of the first film that is over 6 years old at this point. Like I said, I think it's still a great film, but everything that worked out in that first movie got completely fucked up and lost in transition in this one. I don't know. It's just really disappointing.
I'm trying to be perfect, that shit is exhausting. The infinite force that nitpicking niggas get lost in.